Hello everyone and welcome to this Illustrated Journal with Me video. I appreciate you joining me today. So on the back of a previous day I had this Project Life card I placed here, and I could see the bleed through on the back that there's a perfect place there that I could stamp directly on this page and I know it won't bleed through. So that's what I'm going to be doing, stamping, and I'm just showing you there. That's a $1 alphabet set I got from Michael's a long time ago. And I'm using my Kelly Perky dye ink little spots here, and I'm using colors that I see in that washi tape on top, and so I'm using this kind of orangey red color, and then for the numbers I'll be using a teal blue color. I just showed you there that I put my pencil board behind this page to give me some stability and a little bit more of a flat surface. I'm very close to the end of this book and it's very thick, and so it's not laying flat at all, so it's very hard to do the stamping very well, but it comes out okay. It's not perfect, but it's alright, and the pencil board does help with that. So I'm just stamping out each letter and I am wiping it on a little napkin in between. And then for the numbers I'm using my Amy Tangerine wood number stamps, and this is the blue color that I'm using. And a lot of people have these numbers and alphabets, but they get the little shadow around the numbers and letters, and so I have a video that I showed a tip on how I modified these stamps so that you get a nice clean stamped image without that border around the edges. So I'll put that link down below for your viewing pleasure if you'd like to see how I did that. So now we're going to get on to the illustration. As you can see, obviously I penciled this in beforehand, and now I'm going to go over it, the detail portion at least, with this Micron 005 very fine tip pen. And again, I'm sorry my hand is in the way, and that's another reason why I penciled it in, so that you didn't have to see me doing this twice. But just wanted to show you the process of me just going over my pencil lines with this fine tip pen. And this is a waterproof pen, and I will be doing my watercoloring on top of it. So I'm just drawing a little breakfast plate and coffee and everything there on top of my little island. And then now that I did the detail work, I'm going to go to the thicker Micron pen, which is the 01, and do the outlining of the island itself. Since it doesn't have so much detail, it doesn't need to have such a fine line, and so I'm going to just use my thicker pen for that. And so I was rushing a little bit, so my perspective of my lines are a little bit off, but that's okay. It's just for my little journal. And then I was a little nervous videotaping because I haven't done it in a while and my drawings are not the best. So, but I'm sure you'll forgive, and you can tell what I'm drawing here. Just my little cabinets and things. And then I'm going to move on. This is a Tombow calligraphy pen. I want to practice more with it. I've only used it once or twice. So I just wanted to show you it has this kind of brush tip that's kind of flexible but yet firm. So you have to put a lot of pressure on it, and which I'm not very used to. So I understand the concept with calligraphy. You want to do a light upstroke and then a heavy downstroke. But I just personally am not used to pushing very hard on my pens and markers. So I think I would have gotten a better result if I pressed a little bit more firmly. But like I said, it takes some practice. I need to use it more. But I just wanted to show you here how I'm using this journal to practice my different supplies, and encourage you to do the same. So anyways, I'm just trying to put a little more pressure, but like I said, I think I need a little more practice. I just want to be more gentle with my supplies than I think it needs. So anyways, now that that's done, I'm going to go through and very quickly erase all of my pencil marks, so then I can then watercolor on top. So I'm sorry, I should have edited that out, but it is part of the process. So I'm using my Winsor & Newton watercolor palette here, and just a small round brush. It's probably like a number 2, I think. And again, this is just part of the process, and so I just left a lot in here. I did speed it up a little bit, but I tried to get this countertop of my little island to look like granite, and so it's kind of hard to do And then I just didn't, I was a little lazy. I didn't want to change my brush. So I kept using the same brush. So I might have gotten a better result if I switched to a smaller brush, but it is what it is. So I gave myself that gray background to start with, and then I'm just starting to paint my breakfast here, and just using very light colors because it is such a small image. And then I had trouble, my plate was white and so was my cup, so I didn't know how to paint that, if I should just leave it. So if anybody has any suggestions on painting white things, I was afraid to use gray because I didn't want to give it a dirty look, which I did there on the, actually I just did that on the cup. So I don't know, any suggestions on how to make something white, or do I just leave it, which is what I ended up doing. I just left the plate alone so that it indicates white. So here I am trying to make the granite look. So I'm just taking the tip of the brush and I dipped it in my darker gray, and then I just tried to dab it all over the place in random spots. And so again, it's not the best thing, but I think I get the point across near the end. So I just kind of keep going and try to get different shades of gray and try not to make them look like brush strokes. I wanted to make them look more like dot patterns. So I go through first with gray, and then I go back through with some dark brown, kind of orangish color. And so I left a lot of this in just so you could see the process, but that is pretty much it. And I got myself somewhat of a granite countertop. So there's the finishing touch, just to add my little coffee in my cup. And then I just add my journaling around this image, and that will finish this page. So I'm going to give you a little close-up here, and that is it. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little process journal with me video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.